Welcome to BigDaddie Sports. I'm your host, BigDaddie.
LB Jenkins.
And we're back with you once again talking about the goings on in sports. Let's jump right in it. What is your levels of concern for your Dallas Cowboys? I know they're not your Dallas Cowboys.
They ain't never been my Dallas Cowboys.
What's your concern for Jerry's team?
You know, they all stepped up. They all stepped up against Baltimore. Testing drops. There's Bryant. I expect them to get.
Time out. I guess we consider stepping up two different things because Ogletree was a no-show.
Hold on.
Defense was a no-show.
Can I finish?
There's nothing to finish. They didn't step up.
Well, hold on. They stepped up from previous weeks. We talking about 5 interceptions by Tony Romo. They stepped up. Now, do I retract my previous statement of blowing up the team? No. Blow them up. It's not working. It's not working. We need to get some new young. Starting with the quarterback.
Stepping up is winning. I'm sorry.
It was a moral victory.
And maybe
it was a moral victory.
But you can't have more victories when the coach is on the way out the door.
Coach.
And look, it comes down to defensive. The coaching problems in this game is you can't have the ball for 40 minutes and somehow lose. It just can't happen. And then on that last drive, they didn't have a plan. He admitted we only had one play. There was no hurry up. We had a timeout. I didn't have a plan in place for what to do. That's unacceptable.
Yeah, I mean, they went for 23 seconds left. That's the chance to get in the end zone or get closer to a field goal to kick
get
the field
closer.
goal.
I can have Adam Vinatieri. I'm not settling for a 51-yard field goal. That's just no.
I mean, from the last 2 years, what we seen in kickers, the kicker shouldn't have the ball.
But in the last 2 years, what we seen in Jason Garrett, how many times have he blown games, mismanaging clocks at the end of the game? Arizona last year comes to mind. I'm just saying, this dude, he might be a good offensive coordinator, but head coach, he don't have it. He's not a manager. I don't understand that. Next up, the winning team in that game lost a Hall of Fame middle linebacker, a pretty good corner on the outside, and Haloti Ngata, all-pro defensive tackle, is hurt. What is your level of concern for the Ravens?
For defensively, yeah, I'm concerned. Ngata hurt, Ray Lewis out till January, the Webb out another year. I mean, these are key people that are playmakers on every down. Now, offense got to step up. The defense can't carry you anymore. Offense, you looking at scoring 28 points a game now. That's minimum.
At least.
You have the power to do it. You need to do it. Cam Cameron.
Here go the facts. With all them people in there, the defense was struggling. They missed Jared Johnson more than they thought they would. Paul Kruger is not the same guy in the run game as Jared Johnson is. Lord knows they missed Sizzle. You know, you can't replace the defensive player of the year. But the offense now, Joe Flacco opened his mouth, said, I'm elite. Now you got to go do what Aaron Rodgers did a couple years ago where they had, 9 guys on IR. Now you got to go do that. You got to step up. And you got to carry a so-so team. I mean, if you want to be elite, Tom Brady carried the last-ranked defense in the NFL to the Super Bowl last year. So if Flacco wants that respect, it's going to be hard. But he's going to have to step up. I just don't know if he's that guy yet. I like him. I see growth. I just don't know, one, if he's that dude. And will they give him the keys? Sometimes they come out no huddle. Sometimes it's like, well, we got to get Ray touches.
His passing percentage and accuracy and everything, no huddle, is just like he's doing like 95.
But
he's great.
The flip side of that though is you got your defense on the field too much. You can't go out when they run that no huddle. They score in about 2.5 minutes. Defense right back on the field. You got to give your defense a chance to rest. So, what's their best weapon is also an enemy to an ailing defense. Baltimore can be in trouble. They 5-1 right now. But don't be shocked they end up like 9-7 because that defense is not going to stop teams. They've been giving up a ton of yards up. Now, will they get them up? Will they get them off the field late? I don't know. Next up, another team that's normally good that looks to be in trouble, them Pittsburgh Steelers. I respect the black and gold, but specifically on defense, they look old and they got too many weapons on offense to not be explosive. They don't look explosive right now.
One, Todd Haley. You're not going to be explosive when Todd Haley is your offensive coordinator. All he wants to do is run the ball.
Wait, but you can't say that because he was explosive in Arizona. In Arizona, he threw the ball all over the field.
Guess what? In Arizona, they didn't have a running game.
No, I
you ain't no excuse.
No, I agree with that. But at the same time, when you look at what they got, like against Tennessee, they hit that one big play to Mike Wallace. Mike Wallace ended up with 2 catches, the other catches for like 9 yards. You gotta get a playmaker like that to football.
Well, you got Antonio Brown. You have Mike Wallace.
Sanders. You got Heath, the tight end.
I mean, my thing is, you have all this. Again, this should be a high explosive scoring offense, but the new offensive coordinator doesn't like that. All right, even though you put Castle through that all the time and made him do it and made him throw interceptions, but now in Pittsburgh you don't want to do that. All right, next up, Troy Polamalu is that defense. Last 3 years, injured. It's time for him to retire, and
his body can't take it. You know what it reminds me of? Bob Sanders, a physical player who's an elite safety.
Heart's in it.
But the body can't take it. And then we look now, James Harrison is not the same guy. And they lost against Tennessee basically because Harrison got caught in coverage on the tight end, and it wasn't close.
Look,
it wasn't close.
This is why James Harrison ain't the same guy though. Mentally. Every time I hit somebody, I get fined.
No, he admitted that. But that don't have nothing to do with running with somebody. If it was James Harrison didn't blow somebody up in the running game, or a play came towards him and he didn't make a tackle, I can see that. He just can't run the way he used to.
But look, your intensity in running in every single facet of the play
is a piece of it, but he don't look healthy. And he may not ever be 100% healthy again. Because they thought they had this fixed before the season, and then he had to address it again. When I look at the Steelers, they have too much talent to be 2-3.
They've been reduced to a fight with Baltimore for division, fighting for Cincinnati in previous years for division. Now y'all fighting for a wild card spot. And
in a weak AFC this year, that's possible. I'm just saying they should be better. There's too much talent on that team for them to be struggling. So my level of concern for them is minimal. Next up, coaches on the hot seat. Let's start with your boy Andy Reid.
Gone.
When you fire your friend and the defensive coordinator that you decided to bring back, all right, there go the scapegoat. Now all eyes is on Andy.
Look, Andy gone. He gonna be like, it's the water boy, it's the athletic trainer. You can't just start firing people.
I'm gonna tell you why though. I got hope for Andy. Let's go back. In 2008, remember Andy was gone. They went to Baltimore. He pulled McNabb. Kevin Kolb comes in, throws the interception. Oh, he lost the team. He gonna be gone. What did they do after that? They went to the NFC Championship game. So he can fix it. I just don't know if he got the same talent or mentality.
But let's see. I'm seeing the same cycle every year. There's trouble, and Reed's probably gonna get fired. Oh, he gonna fix it, and you might make the playoffs, or you a game away from the playoffs.
It works for the Giants.
They win Super Bowls though.
No, I agree, but it works.
Coff's about to get fired. He wins the Super Bowl, secures his job for a couple more years. All right, and that's New York. Now Philly, just almost as bad as New York. You on the hot seat, and we got Michael Vick.
Michael Vick who on the hot seat.
Look,
Michael Vick who look. When they talking about bringing in Nick Foles, first of all, Nick Foles wasn't that tight at the University of Arizona, so that tells me a whole lot. And it's not all. Donovan McNabb said something when he left Philly. He said the problem became that we stopped running regular offense and we kept trying to throw the ball down the field 80 yards. And that's what we see now. They're not running regular offense. They got these weapons and they want all these big plays.
Deshaun Jackson, down the field.
Look, how about LaShawn McCoy? Let's get 4 yards. Let's get a drive together. You can't. Every play you get is not going to be this big, explosive Madden video game play. If they don't get out that mentality, they won't make the playoffs.
We got a defense where Namdi, we got Roger Kumar.
I don't even want to talk about Namdi. Namdi need to get them checks back.
This defense ain't stopping people. And then you got an offense that's giving away to other defenses.
I don't know. Next up, you called it North Turner. I give it to you last week. You said don't believe the hype, don't believe the record. Watching the game, they get up early. Now, mind you, they get up because there's a fumble on the kick return, there's a fumble on the punt return. So there's this fool's goal, and then all of a sudden, Phillip Rivers start throwing picks, and his head coach / offensive coordinator can't pull the reins back in, and Phillip literally throws the game away. North in trouble, but it ain't just North. I gotta say this. AJ Smith.
Oh yeah. Hey, I don't like them ones cheap with people money ain't theirs. That's one.
But no, two. Let's look at the fact that you let Vincent Jackson go because you had an ego problem and you didn't like him. You replaced him with Robert Meacham. I like Meacham, but Meacham's a cog. He's not a number one. He can be 2, 3, 4. They played him sparingly in New Orleans, and he made big plays every now and then. That's a system thing. Y'all asking him to be a 1, it ain't there. I've been waiting on Malcolm Floyd like they have for 3 years to be a number 1. Ain't seen it.
Okay.
And then with Ryan Matthews, not working.
He's not Sproles. You ever replace LT and Sproles? This one is dissension started. You let LT go.
LT was done. I'll give you that.
Sproles stepped up actually. Sproles stepped up, was running the ball cool. Then you let him go. Running back Matthews ain't doing nothing.
And then you put in Ronnie Brown. Ronnie Brown is done. Phillip Rivers is a distant cousin of Tony Romo. He looked good, but he got that gene where I'm gonna throw a couple picks. I'm gonna keep both teams in it. I'm gonna score for us, and I'm gonna keep the other team close. And Monday night, I don't understand. North Turner's got to call a screen, a draw, or something. Give Phillip Rivers some easy plays, and it didn't happen. North's on the hot seat.
Look, Phillip threw the ball away. That defense we talking about, oh, this good? What is it?
Time out.
You let Peyton Manning.
It's Peyton Manning.
It's Peyton Manning.
It's Peyton Manning.
24 points.
More than 24. It's Peyton Manning, though. I mean, it's Peyton Manning. What I'm going to say. They lined up, and he did what he was supposed to do. I can't be mad at that. If I got a 24-point lead, my offense got to keep scoring. I know I'm on the hot seat. You know who else on the hot seat? Pat Shermer.
How about that? Whole administration is on the hot seat.
Well, he basically fired Mike Holmgren already.
Holmgren's administration is on the hot seat.
I feel bad for Pat because they get their first win, and it's like, yeah, you better string together 6 or 7, or you have no shot at keeping this job. He's done. There's nothing he can do in Cleveland, and I feel bad for everybody they brought in because the GM, the new president, and the new head coach gonna want their own people. I feel bad for Colt McCoy, and if Brandon Wheaton don't show this year that he can do something, trust you and believe they're gonna try to find somebody because whoever comes in there next is gonna want to make a splash. They already talking about they gonna offer Nick Saban about $7 million.
Oh Lord.
And so stay away from Saban, but I'm just saying. That's the kind of splash they want to make. Pat Shermer in trouble. And last but not least, Romeo Crennel.
Romeo Crennel got one more year.
No, he don't. But look, again, it's not just Romeo. Your boy Scott Pioli. Let me tell you why Romeo in trouble. Name me another wide receiver other than Dwayne Bowe on the Kansas City Chiefs. You can't do it. You can't do it. Because they hide garbage.
Steve Breslin.
Yes. You know what? They got Steve Breslin. Steve Breslin in the league. 6 years, he got 9 career touchdowns. He been in the league 6 years, he been to the end zone 9 times.
Steve Breslin's problem was, he was an Arizona Cardinal, he was number 3.
6 years!
Number 3. You had Anquan Boldin, you had Larry Fitzgerald, and then you. Yes, when they have to double team Anquan Boldin and Larry Fitzgerald, you're going to be open to catch the ball. You're going to look good. Arizona Cardinals tried to retain you. You wanted more money. They hired you to be a number 1, number 2, and you don't do it. You don't show up.
6 years, 9 touchdowns in 6 years. And that's your number 2 receiver. No. Then they got Dexter McCluster. 3 years. Now, he a hybrid. Running back, kick returner, wide receiver. 2 touchdowns in his 3-year career. 2 touchdowns in his 3-year career.
This man just got here.
3 years?
No, I'm talking about Romeo Crennel. I think Romeo.
He was there last year. Look, the fact of the matter, I'm not blaming it all on Romeo. But the GM got to put some talent around him. Dwayne Bowe's stats look good this year, but as you know, they come in garbage time.
Look, Brady Quinn, your number 1 quarterback. What that means? You get the number 1 draft pick. I mean, that's exactly what that's coming down.
But that tells you the talent level of your team. Brady Quinn is on your roster. No, not that. Brady Quinn shouldn't be. Haven't we seen this story before?
Hold on. Brady Quinn on the roster. We go some other teams. Curtis Painter was on Indy's roster.
And you know what? Time out.
That's some backups. There just shouldn't be backups in the NFL.
Curtis Painter was on Indy roster and the GM got fired. you making my point for me. So, next up, the picks. Last week, by some miracle of God, he prayed and he fasted. He tied. He didn't beat me. He tied me. Let's go.
The mark of something new.
Seattle and San Francisco.
Seattle just beat the Patriots. San Francisco, Alex Smith has reverted back to his former self. Look, Seattle's gonna win.
I think it's gonna be a close game, but I do go with Seattle because Marshawn Lynch seems to be able to run on that defense. Who scored the only rushing touchdown on them last year? It was Marshawn Lynch. So I think it'll be close, but I'm gonna go with Seattle. Tennessee at Buffalo.
Tennessee came back, beat the Steel.
You know what? We called out Mario Williams last week, and Mario Williams came to Arizona and balled out. But it's easy to ball out against a high school offensive line, and that's what the Cardinals got. So this week I'm gonna go with Tennessee, and we're gonna see if Mario show up again. Cleveland at Indy.
This is gonna be a close game.
I'm going with Cleveland.
I'm going with Indy. I'm going Indy because they at home. If it was Cleveland,
I feel you, but I think I'm going with Cleveland. I think they starting to figure a couple things out.
They progressed.
Washington and Giants.
Upset Washington.
Woo! Not really upset. They beat them twice last year. But I'm going with the Giants. The Giants, I think, will get this game. New Orleans and Tampa.
This one hard. Like this, I hate to pray on. I'm going New Orleans. I think Drew Brees always goes into Tampa and gets it done.
Not last year. He went to Tampa. He had a lot of yards, but he threw the game-ending interception. But I'm going to go with Drew Brees. I think they're going to get on the mini roll right here. Tampa Bay's not a great team. I'm going to go with Drew Brees. Dallas at Carolina.
Carolina.
Ooh.
Carolina.
Ooh.
Look, Cam got to come in there. He got to show something. Dallas, they're going to be they're going to have some esteem issues after last week's loss.
I'm going with Dallas. Carolina's defense has not shown me anything at all. And I think Romo, he'll get that team a win. They can't fall to 2-4. So I'm going to go with Dallas. Baltimore and Houston. Houston. Just call it what it is. Arian Foster going to run for 200 yards. I'm going to let you know that right now.
I agree with that. But as you said, when the Jets almost beat Houston.
No, I agree.
When Green Bay.
No, but
Green Bay whooped their tail, and it was an ugly whoop tail, though, too.
But time out. I like Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco ain't Aaron Rodgers.
Look.
I like Torrey Smith, but Torrey Smith ain't Jordy Nelson.
But what I'm saying is they can throw all over this team. And when your defense is down, you got to open up the playbook. So
they got to score 40 to beat Houston. They not scoring 40. I'm going with Houston. Who you got?
Baltimore.
Green Bay and St. Louis.
Green Bay. Now I'm telling you right now, if St. Louis win this game, it needs to be a blow-up Green Bay. Because there's some to come and beat Houston like you did. It was kind of ugly, but still beat Houston like you did.
He threw 6 touchdown passes. What are you talking about? It's kind of ugly.
There's some route running I didn't like in that game. Like, just
you know what? You can run whatever route you want to when you're throwing 6 touchdown passes. No, I'm sorry. I'm taking Green Bay. But watch out, I'm telling you, Cortland Finnegan is going to cause a fight. He going to get on somebody's nerves. It's going to happen. Arizona and Minnesota.
Arizona.
I'm going Minnesota. Skelton didn't look ready last week.
He didn't look ready. He wasn't supposed to come back and be fully active till this week.
Look, time out. He knew Kevin Cobb was going to get hurt.
he knew like before everyone else.
Everybody knew Kevin Cobb was going to get hurt.
Everybody watching the play, he made that last run. And he was like 4 for 67. And like, everyone's like, he need to stop this. He going to get injured. Next play, injured. Skelton was named starter for a reason at the beginning of the season. Skelton.
No, he wasn't. It was pick the worst of the 2 evils. The best of the 2 evils. They picked Skelton. Look, I like him. But like him comparable to other quarterbacks, I like him versus Cobb. Yeah, no.
Well.
But he looked bad last week. I'm going Minnesota. Jets at New England. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Jets. Rex Ryan got a lot of backup, and he know it's some tension in New York. He know he got to get it done.
You know what? You be drinking that Kool-Aid. I'm going with the Patriots. The Patriots ain't losing 2 in a row.
Look.
It's not happening.
He's got one with Patriots against Seattle, and Seattle won.
Ooh, 1 game. Whatever. Next up, Jacksonville at Oakland.
Oakland.
I don't even know how to pick that game. Like, first, Blaine Gabbert. That's all you need to say about Jacksonville. And then, Oakland looked decent playing Atlanta last week, but Carson Palmer did what Carson Palmer does. He going to throw you one. I'm going to go with Oakland because it's in Oakland. That's the only reason. It's in Oakland. Pittsburgh at Cincinnati. I'm taking Cincinnati, too. Detroit at Chicago.
Detroit? What?
Really?
Man, look, I don't like Chicago. I just don't. I'm not
I'm
feeling
going,
Chicago.
I'm going with Chicago on the Monday night. All right, fantasy, here we go. I got Brandon Wheaton versus the Indy defense. The Indy secondary is horrible. Brandon Wheaton been throwing for 300 yards pretty consistently here lately, so I'm going to go with Wheaton. Andy Dalton versus the Steelers defense. The Steelers had problems with Andy Dalton and A.J. Green last year. They better now, and the defense has digressed. Next up, Arian Foster versus that Baltimore defense. I'm telling you right now, he going to get it. And if you got tape behind him, play tape too. Who you got?
I got Calvin Johnson versus that Chicago defense. They gonna double team him, they gonna triple team him, but Calvin Johnson, aka Megatron's gonna get it done.
You realize he ain't scored this year, right?
Look, he gonna get it done. It's the perfect time to do it. Then, well, hold on. Cleveland. Now, I know I picked the other team to win, but not Trent Richardson, but Montario Hardesty.
Yeah.
Put him in against the Eagles.
If you need a second back, that's a good pick.
He gonna go in. He gonna run all over this team. Although I still pick Indy to win. Oh, and the best pick of the week. The best pick of the week. Tim Tebow is running back for the New York Jets. Gonna bulldoze over every New England Patriot. Tebow.
Jesus.
Get you some points.
Tebow might even play, but Will folks not letting him score. But anyways, whatever.
Man, ain't that Reeves that said last year he ain't gonna let him score? Wait, hold. Brian Urlacher. Oh, we ain't gonna let that stuff happen. Everybody they run their mouth. They said, I'm gonna stop Tim Tebow. Can't stop Tim Tebow.
Here we go. You know what? His coaches is stopping him because he ain't none of all that yakking you doing. He ain't did nothing this year.
Yeah, he's starting to run back. He ain't been in the game.
Whatever.
Man, ran like 5 plays.
Last segment for you. Got a new one for you. It's called Taking Out the Garbage. I heard some garbage this week where people is talking about RG3 is already better than Michael Vick. Let me tell you why that's just hot garbage. This is very simple. Michael Vick in Atlanta has readily admitted he didn't study the playbook. He didn't know the playbook. When they gave him the playbook, he threw it in the trunk of his Escalade and kept moving. Now, mind you, the man didn't know the playbook. Took a garbage team to the NFC Championship. With no receivers, Roddy White wasn't ready yet. Michael Jenkins was driving passes. All he had was Algie Crumpler. He had work done in running back, and that was it. The team was okay. Took him to the NFC Championship. How quickly we forget. This dude didn't know the playbook and took a team to the NFC Championship. I like RG3. But let's stop with the hyperbole. Better than Michael Vick at his best? Not yet. Okay. Just pump your brakes.
All right, look, y'all see some. They talking about Cam Newton was better than. Look, you see Cam coming in second year. RG3, does he have the potential to be? Yes, I'll give you that.
No, and see, I'll give you that. But don't say at this moment he's better.
Let's let the rest of the year play out. Because again, like Michael Vick, he has some tendencies. I'm gonna run against a linebacker and think I'm not gonna get injured.
There's some things like that. You know how many times people come out and we see him and they have a great year, and you be like, oh, he's going to be the next da-da-da-da, and it don't happen.
Cam Newton
is struggling now, but I'll tell you, Javon Walker came out, wide receiver in Green Bay. Oh, he's the next Sterling Sharp. Injuries happen. Javon Kirks came out. Oh, he's going to be the greatest defensive end ever. Injuries happen. People's careers get shortened. You know, we jump on these running backs. Jamal Lewis come out 2,000-yard season. He could be an all-time great. Injuries, concussions happen. Stuff changes. You can't jump on a player early. Look, he's good, and we get that. But let's wait to see how he's going to pan out.
Can the man make the playoffs first?
I mean,
let's make the playoffs.
Something. Now, I mean, let's just remember. Let's just throw out a name real quick. This man by the name of Drew Bledsoe was on a Hall of Fame arc. And all of a sudden, Brian Cox hit him, broke his ribs. Done. Stuff happens in the NFL. It just, you think one thing and then it's over. I'm just saying. Pump your brakes. I like RG3. But better than Michael Vick already? At his best? Nah. That's all we got for you. Hope you enjoyed the show. Hit us up on Twitter at BigDaddie6.
LB Jenkins and Light Bright J.
Holla.
Everybody